How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to talk about Geometry Dash game modes, all 8 of them. And I'm going to tell you how much I like each one on this tier list right here, from S to F. But I'll tell you right now, I love Geometry Dash, and so we can just take out these bottom tiers because none of these, even the ones I don't like, I don't think would deserve an F. Because why would they be on here? I love Geometry Dash. I love all these game modes in certain contexts. I just love some more than the other. So guess what? F, get out of here. And even D, get out of here. So we're gonna be ranking these from C to S because even the game mode that I like the least, I still like. By the way, this isn't an objective list of things. This is just my subjective opinion of how much I enjoy these game modes. We are gonna start with the trusty old cube. Hello, cube. Where are we gonna put you, cube? Cube. Where would we put you? S? I mean, it's such a classic, right? I could see how people would put this in S. For me, though, I think I'd want to put the cube in A. But maybe not. Like, it's simple. It does the trick. But it's also pretty limiting. I could put it into B. No, we're going to put it into A. I think it's like a low A for me. Like, there's going to be others in the A tier that I like more than the cube. But I do like the cube. Like, look at this tight cube gameplay in Acropolis. It is classic. And the nice thing about the cube is you can buffer. And so being able to like buffer and being able to constantly jump actually is pretty satisfying. So you can do a bunch of cool things with the cube just because of the fact that you can buffer, you can click on orbs and you can buffer and then constantly jump, or you can individually click. So it is pretty flexible, even though it is the most basic game mode. There's a lot of things you can do, and it also feels really satisfying doing like some hard triple spike clicks. For one of the most basic game modes, it actually can be pretty complex. And the way that the cube feels when you're hitting jump orbs, the physics just feel right for it. You know, you get the perfect amount of height and it feels really good to hit some sections like that. One nice thing I like about the cube too is the way it falls. The cube falls really fast. It doesn't feel like super floaty where when you fall off an edge, it takes a while. You fall immediately. And because of that, you can have sections like in Forest Temple where you hit an edge and then fall down. And it feels really good. Just the falling mechanics in the cube feel great. It's not too fast. It's not too slow. It feels good in the hands. See, cube, when you hit these jump orbs like this, like there's so many different ways you can mix and match cube with jump orbs. It just feels so good. Like, look at this. Like, you know, it just hitting these orbs like at late timings, early timings, spam. For some reason, just jump orbs and the cube, it's just a match made in heaven. Like, it always feels good to hit an orb as the cube. Man, it feels good. So with that said, there's lots you can do with the cube. Hitting orbs feels good. The falling feels good with the cube. I like that you can go up and down the screen a bunch, although sometimes that can be annoying because there can be blind jumps, but I guess it's all about how you use it, because even if there's blind jumps, that's just because the creator of the level was cruel. As a matter of fact, all these game modes can be horrible depending on a creator of a level making it awful, right? I just find it's so solid and amazing that you got to put it into A. However, it's not quite S. There are some game modes that I just love a little bit more. Okay, now let's just do the next game mode, the next one that's introduced into the game, and that is the ship. You guys all know I love the ship. The ship it's just an easy S tier. To me, it's the best game mode in the game. I love the ship so much. It is so satisfying because you can mess up some timings in the ship, but you can recorrect yourself just because you can recorrect momentum. Like, look at this ship part, even in Sonic Wave. Like, the ship is just one of the coolest parts. Boom, you slide up and then you gotta hit the button and like do a little mini straight fly thing. It's so satisfying to do. Like, when you hit good ship inputs, it feels immensely good. Like going through a tight section, oh my goodness. Like, this feels so good going through a tight section like that, like a straight fly, but you're not really, you're kind of flying downwards. Like, the sort of click pattern to do that feels immensely good. And that's without even mentioning that you can have some really unique bits like here where you're hitting a bunch of jump orbs and stuff. Like, orbs in ship sections feel immensely good, and straight fly as well. Like, flying straight like that feels so good. Like, other game modes when you're going straight, like straight waving and things, they just don't feel as good to me. But going through like these tight spikes as you're kind of falling down and sort of bobbing your way through as the ship, man, there's just something about it that is unmatched. You feel amazing at the game. You feel so skillful, and it always feels good. It doesn't feel like, ooh, that was hard and awkward. It's always like hard and man, that was nice. And so you can also have like tight ship sections like here where you're going through like tight spike sections where you feel like you're really in control. But then you can also have like this momentum style gameplay where you're doing these big arcing swoops and you're using the entirety of the screen. And that also feels good. It feels good to use the entire screen. It also feels good to use just a tiny bit of the screen. The ship mode just always feels good. That is why we're putting the ship in S tier. It is rare where I don't like a ship section in a level. It is extremely rare as compared to other game modes. I mostly always like the ship no matter the context. And now we move on to the ball. The ball, I'm a ball enjoyer. I like the ball, but it's also kind of slow. I like the ball a lot, okay? So, you know, like I said, all of these game modes I like a lot, but I just don't quite like it as much as the cube or the ship, because I feel like as you switch gravity, it doesn't kind of go in this direct diagonal line. There's sort of like this momentum that carries it up in a weird way. And for some reason, it takes me a long time to learn what that gap is and what the timing is. And instead of looking at like which gap I'm going to, I'm always looking at, I just basically have to remember in relation to the decoration that's around me, where do I push the button instead of actually looking at the gap that I'm going to. And so for me, sometimes it just doesn't feel good. Like, I know this is notorious for being a very difficult section in the level, but Sonic Wave, for example, like these ball inputs, they're tight, but I don't know if they ever felt like satisfying. They were just, I had to know in relation to the decoration that was around me where to go and push the button instead of actually looking at the gap I was going to. It's weird. And because of that, I'm a ball enjoyer. I still like good ball gameplay, but it's just not like my number one pick. It's enjoyable. It's a solid B, where yeah, there's some ball parts I really enjoy. There's a lot of ball parts I don't enjoy that don't feel that good to play. Like this part here in Conical Depression, you have to go through these gaps and not hit a ledge. And when you hit a ledge, it always just felt bad because I was like, it never really felt good to go through that ball section. And so there's a lot of ball sections that I just sort of don't jive with a lot more than some of the other game modes that are higher above it. But there's also a lot of really interesting ball sections. Like, for example, going back to Acropolis, this ball section feels really good. And I think the reason why is that it uses mini spikes. And so it's really easy to see the gap that you're going into. And you can really never press the button too late unless you run right into the spike. But like whenever you use big spikes, it's so easy to press the button late and you go in the air and you just barely clip the spike as you go up. And it just never feels good. Like, I love Forest Temple. It's one of my favorite demons in the entire game. But this ball section coming up is, it's good because it's close, it's tight, but it also uses like the big spikes and it can be like mildly frustrating. It's a solid game mode. I still really enjoy it. And actually Forest Temple, that's a good example of the big ball done well, aside from the mini, because like it uses the big spikes, but the gaps are really close, so you can really hone in on what you're doing. But when you have big spaces and you're doing like big sweeping inputs across the screen, it can feel really frustrating. Like, this is some really good ball gameplay right here. This is really satisfying because it's not in between like tight spikes. And then that part's just a buffer. But if you were going all the way across the screen like that and there were actual timings, it's really frustrating to like line up correctly. You kind of got to pre-practice a lot and just know exactly like in relation to the deco where you hit the button. I don't know. It's fun. I like it, but it can be really frustrating. The UFO, my boy, the UFO. A lot of people, so I've realized a lot of people don't like the UFO. What? You don't like the UFO? The UFO is so fun. I feel like the UFO for me is about on the same level. I think I might like it a little bit more than the cube. I really like it. You just bounce in the air like Flappy Bird. And also when you involve like portals in there, it can feel really satisfying. Like this part right here at the end of Hypersonic is a bit notorious, where you got to remember this part right here, duke, 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 duke. But that to me is very satisfying UFO gameplay, because you got to remember the clicks and you just remember the timing. You just go like 3, 1, 3, 4, now blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, obviously I don't remember exactly where to click, but I feel like it's really satisfying combined with portals to go through there. It feels good in your hands. Don't get me wrong, there can be some really hard UFO sections, like this part in Forest Temple where you're going between spikes. It can be used in sort of a frustrating way, but when it's used well, it's used really well, and it's just highly satisfying. Because then later on in the level, you're a mini UFO, and this part feels so good because you land, you fall, and you get like in a jump pattern. If you jump too fast, you die, but if you jump just at the right time, it feels nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. But you can actually kind of mess up by spamming it too quickly. But it's all about control. I mean, geometry is all about control anyways. But when you do control it properly, man, it's very satisfying, much like the ship, but not quite to the extent of the ship. So here's another good quality UFO section. In Erebus, right here, you do like these really tight inputs, and then you change into the UFO right here. And like going through those tight sections and hitting those orbs, it feels really good. It's such a good game mode, and I feel like it's underrated by a lot of people. I really, really enjoy the UFO timings, the free-floating nature of it. I think it's great. But it can be really annoying, which is why it's in A and not S. There can be some very annoying UFO gameplay. For example, this section in Red World, man, 1, 2, 3, revive! You gotta like hit the button so fast to get through there, and it's very awkward. And then that part, like, with the big UFO, it wasn't even lined up really. So you gotta hit the button really fast. And then as you're going down through there, you're very close to the spike. And like, there can be some very awkward and silly UFO moments, of course, that can make it frustrating. But when it's done well, I think it's done extremely well. And I love it so much. UFO is an easy A. I know it's crazy. It's crazy, right? I'm gonna get down votes for this just because of that. Because people hate this game mode. I don't know why. All right, good old wave, man. Oh my God, the wave. This is like everyone's S tier. This is like everyone's like, oh, the wave's the best. You just hit the button once, you go up, and then you let go and you go down. But I disagree. I'm gonna call it a high B. Now, this is a very personal opinion. The reason why I don't like the wave is because of its simplicity. Like, this part in Astral Divinity is solid. This is a perfect use of a wave. Like, this part feels amazing to play because it's really unique and you go through like some special areas. It is great. And there can be some really solid wave moments like that make me just love the wave so much. But then in the exact same level, you can have a section like this where you gotta spam. And wave spam, for me, it never feels good. I like unique sections where you're going through tight areas, but man, like parts where you got to wave spam, oh my God. Or like this tight wave section right there, like I feel like there's a lot of sections in the wave where you're forced to go in a certain pattern, whereas the ship, it's more like free flowing where you can find your own click pattern. But in the wave, you're like forced to do a click pattern. You can't find your own way to do it. Usually you have to do it in a certain way. And I don't like that. I don't like it that you can't have as much control over it. Like this section in Astral is like so hard to me right here. And then this spam right there, that can just kill you because you can be spamming and then you go through the portal the wrong way. You're just a little bit lower in your spam, which I feel like you can't control that well. And then you just like go down and die. It's the weirdest thing. The wave I just find so punishing. Like it's just it's so immediate when you die. And like this wave section right here, like I would die here all the time. Like that part, like sometimes the wave just doesn't feel good, bro. It just doesn't feel good. And speaking of wave parts that don't feel good, this kind of spammy gameplay, like, oh, dying to that is just gives me a heart attack. Like, ooh, it just feels out of control. And I don't know why. Me and the wave, bro, we just don't get along, the wave and me. Don't get me wrong, I think the wave can be very satisfying. Like this part in Sonic Wave that a lot of people don't like, I felt it was really fun to play and it was really interesting. But then you get to like some spammy parts like this and, you know, like, I don't know, like some parts can just not feel that good. And I feel like the wave to me just takes a very long time to learn compared to other game modes. Like I'm much more inconsistent with it. And that for me personally makes it feel not as good to play. Where like I'll learn a click pattern, but some clicks on the wave are just so much more precise compared to other game modes that I don't jive very well with it. I just find the wave in general, maybe because I'm bad at it, when I'm playing levels and let's say there's a part that people are like, oh, these are all like, it's a very well-balanced level and these are all equally skill-based. The cube, the ship, the wave, everything like equally skill-based, but I'll just keep on dying to the wave parts over and over again. For some reason, I feel like I'm just so inconsistent with it because of the immediacy of the deaths. Just one little input wrong, down into the wall, you're done, you know? I'm not a huge wave enjoyer, but I still enjoy good wave gameplay, right? Like I don't hate the wave. It's a high B. It's pretty good. I just don't like it as much as other game modes. That's all. Now we move on to the robot. Oh, my boy, the robot. Guys, some people don't dig the robot very well. They just don't like it. Robot is S tier for me, baby. I love a good robot. Dude, the robot being able to control the height of your jumps, it's so satisfying. But I also really love Mario games where the longer you hold down, the more you jump, especially in the 2D games. I find that kind of gameplay so satisfying. Just look at Shardscapes. This gameplay of being able to control your height is so satisfying. Like this level, whenever I played in practice mode, I enjoy it so much, even though it's incredibly difficult. I really, really enjoy it, especially with no fixed hitboxes. I'm playing Astral right now and there's some fixed hitboxes and parts I'm like, and it makes me frustrated. But man, this level right here, absolutely, absolutely love it. It is such a pleasure to play. And one day I will be good enough to beat this level. I mean, there's a lot of other good robot in levels though, that I have played. Like this part in Stereo Extremeness, people call it like the hardest part and the part that they hate the most. It's so hard and so frustrating. This was like my favorite part in the level. I love this so much. Oh my God. I love this part. Jumping on those spikes when you hit them, like sure, it is difficult, but man, it is satisfying. You get it? And it feels so good nailing the section. I absolutely love being able to control the height of your jumps, the feeling of like, not just the press being important, but also the release, very much like the ship, and a lot of other game modes as well. Like this robot part in Erebus right here is just one of the most satisfying robot sections. It's not that long. It's just for like a short time. But man, like these robot jumps, they're tight, but hitting the orbs just feels immensely good, and timing the height and everything. It's so good to play. It's peak gameplay. And I don't understand the hate for the robot. I don't get why people don't like it that much. I think it feels really good to play. Now on to the spider. The spider is the first one I'm putting into C. I enjoy good spider gameplay. Some levels where it's pretty good. Like here's the thing about the spider. Like I'm trying to think of a level that had good spider gameplay, and I just can't even, I can't even remember it. So the problem with the spider is it's this instant teleportation from like the bottom of the screen to the top. And the reason why that can feel awkward is you have to focus on the input that you're gonna do, and then you have to kind of look to where you're going as well. Usually when you're looking at a game mode, you're looking almost directly at the game mode, so you can see like what's around it. But with the spider, you kind of got to look all around the screen, and it feels awkward. I don't like playing the spider. Don't get me wrong, there can be some spider gameplay that's all right. Like here, where the spider gameplay is kind of tight, you know, that feels pretty satisfying. That's a good use of the spider right there in Digital Ascent. Pretty good. Or this part in Subsonic. This part in Subsonic was pretty good with the speed changes. It wasn't so bad. This spider, I kind of enjoyed, and I got the hang of it, and I was decently consistent at it. It was okay because it was fairly tight. But then there's this spider section, which is in the exact same level. You're going up and around and hitting all these orbs, and like your vision of where you're looking is going everywhere, and like you got to look at where you hit, and like as you're teleporting, you're looking up and down and everywhere. And for me, that just kind of feels a little strange. It feels a little awkward to do something like that. And there's other levels, I can't think of examples, but other levels I've ran into where like you're going across the whole screen as the spider, and that never feels good. Spider, it still can be good. There can be some really satisfying spider gameplay. Like I said, a C is still pretty good. If used right, the spider's great. It's hard to do the spider correctly, is all I want to say. There are many times I'm very frustrated with how the spider works out, but it's still Geometry Dash. I still like the spider. All right, swing copter. I'm a swing copter enjoyer. I like it. I think the swing copter used properly is very satisfying. So I'd put, yeah, the swing copter at like a low A. I think the cube is better than the swing copter, but I love the swing copter, man. Swing copter rules. And I'll just put this is just swing copter. This is its ball swing copter. I mean, I don't know why that's there really. But like ball swing copter, normal swing copter, like this swing copter section right here, this isn't actual like new swing copter, but like, it's basically the same thing. I'm going to show you an example of a swing copter that was used recently, that was used in an incredible way. And that was in the End Is Here by Doggy. So after you go through the ball section, you go through the swing copter where you're swinging a little bit, but you're also hitting orbs to like bounce yourself down. So a lot of people think that swing copter gameplay is just too basic, where you're just swinging up and down around obstacles. But like the thing is it doesn't have to be. Like it can be used in a really interesting way like this, where you're going up and down, you're hitting orbs through portals, like you're boom, boom, bam, hitting that smash, smash, and like you're smashing orbs that smash into jump pads, and you're bouncing around. But then also like a part at the end here where it is just more simple. So you're bouncing on orbs, then boom, and then you're just doing the normal kind of staying in the center and avoiding objects. Like the swing copter, when used right, is very good to play. Obviously, and when it's used wrong, it's still good to play too. It's just when it's used wrong, I feel like it's used like just a little too basically, you know? There's not enough creativity behind the swing copter with some levels. Anyways, that's about it. However, this is just normal swing copter. I'm just gonna leave that out. That's just like old swing copter. And right here, this is the jetpack game mode. This goes into S. This just goes with the ship because platformer gameplay with the jetpack is amazing. Like one of my favorite extreme demons is this level right here, Jetpack Trials. Nailing a really hard jetpack section, man, it feels really good to do. The way the jetpack feels with the momentum and the falling and the catching yourself, it can feel frustrating when you're not used to it, but once you're used to the timing and like how it feels when you're falling from standing still or falling from, you know, hitting your head up against the wall like that, feels really good to use. And whenever you nail a hard section, like, man, it just feels like butter in your hands, nice and smooth. I don't know why you'd put butter in your hands though, it's kind of gross. Yeah, like nailing some of these hard sections in this level, like this, were just, it was very difficult to do. It feels good, man. It's like hitting like a really solid straight fly, except you have even more control because you have more buttons to use because you're in platformer mode. Like jetpack just feels great. I want more levels like this. I will take a pure jetpack level and I will just play the heck out of it. More extreme demons like this, I'm in, son. Anyways, that's my tier list. Don't get me wrong. I actually, because I love Geometry Dash, I like all game modes, even the spider here down at C tier. I still enjoy a good spider, man. It's good. This is just basically going and ranking these game modes from like above average to really good, right? This is just where it would fall. Ship and jetpack, absolutely goated. I love the ship. Anything to do with the ship gameplay is great. Robot is very underrated, I think. I love myself UFO, Cube, and Swingcopter. Wave is just... me and the Wave, we have issues with each other. And the ball, I have issues with the ball as well. And then the spider, we don't get along. But I still love playing good, well-crafted sections in levels from these game modes. I hope you guys enjoyed my tier list. I kind of didn't prepare any script or anything. I just went right at it and just talked about how I felt about it. So sorry if this video kind of felt disjointed. I'll see you guys in the next vid. Hope you enjoyed. And as always, peace.